Yeah, let's start. Good afternoon. My name is Andre, um, DaaS Implementation Manager in Winncom. Today we're going to discuss DaaS products distributed by Winncom and our professional services for DaaS products. Let's get started with the next slide. And for some of our viewers, let's discuss generally what is DaaS. DaaS is a distributed antenna system that you can place indoor or outdoor to have a RF coverage for your desired area. For example, some cellular coverage for your new carriers, public safety frequencies for fire department example. Some of the Wi-Fi systems also considered as that, but that's probably going to be another webinar for this topic. You probably saw some DaaS systems in the parking lots, in malls, stadiums, airports, or subways. That's the places where you actually can have problem with the signal and you need some additional equipment to provide good solid signal of your desired frequencies. Many of our customers actually asking how does during the COVID time. We actually saw an increase in sales by 23% starting March of this year. Usually we see a lot of requests from apartments, hospital, food markets, or some of the government projects. That's the area where you actually can hit to find your customers. Uh, many employees who work from home right now, they actually still need to have the coverage, cell phone coverage. Not everything goes to Wi-Fi through the internet. They actually need to have cellular coverage, and this is the part of the market that grows right now. And you can beat your chances by selecting these customers in your projects. Winncom distributes 6 vendors equipment is Bird, Cel-Fi, Ericsson, Hiplex, Solid, and Westell. Each of this vendor actually has its own DaaS equipment with their benefits, and probably some specifics about their equipment is that you need to know type of your project and which equipment will fit best for you. And one of the equipment that's really friendly to start with if you've never actually done DaaS is the Cel-Fi by Nextivity. It has multiple units to cover different types of the businesses or areas, starting with the Cel-Fi Dual Pro units. So there's 2 different units. Cel-Fi Dual, which is basically something you're gonna just handle to the end customer. Um, it's really user friendly. Your customer can do the self installation. In the box, you will find the instruction how to install it. Basically, this unit will cover 15,000 square feet of apartments, house, small offices. What your customer will need to do is place the network unit somewhere close to the window or the area where he actually has cellular coverage, and it will distribute this cellular coverage through the network unit, which you will put exactly somewhere in the middle of the building or where you have problems with your signal. You may use the Wave app on your phone, or your customer is able to use it to register this unit and actually see the performance of this unit, or the way you can adjust the location of this unit to have the best performance to cover the whole area that you desire. Again, it's really cheap, easy to install. You just can sell it to your customer and he will get the coverage for his carrier. It's only one carrier per unit, so if there are going to be multiple carriers that he needs, that's probably something else from the Cel-Fi equipment that you want to look. So let's talk about the Cel-Fi Pro. That's a little bit more advanced unit that you might want to use in some locations. It covers 13,000 square feet of the area. And one of the advantage of this unit is that you actually can connect your coverage unit with your network unit with the coax cable up to 60 feet. So you will actually cover the area somewhere behind the concrete wall or the other floor. This is really like easy to install again. Your customer can just place these two units and connect it via the coax cable and have good coverage on the area. Cel-Fi Go X, that's another product from the Cel-Fi. It actually a little bit more advanced system that you need to have the installer to install. This unit covers up to 15,000 square feet. Few components that you need to have to install it is the donor antenna. Then you will have the coax cable coming from the roof to the GoX unit itself. It's wall mountable. You can mount it somewhere in the closet or IDF room, server room. It's NEMO 4 device, which is really friendly even to the outdoor systems. However, it's still recommended to use it indoor. And from the GoX unit itself, you can pull cable up to 100 feet and place your serving antenna. If you have multiple floors or different areas separated by the big concrete wall, you can actually use splitter and have 2 antennas, 3 antennas, or 4 serving antennas. Again, that's will be really specific for your project, and we can assist you with the design and the way you're gonna want to place it. But it's really easy to install, pull these cables, and have your coverage. This unit will be set up by the Wave app on your phone, so you just connect it via Bluetooth, choose your carrier, and see the performance of the antenna. On the app, you actually can see the donor signal, and by this measurement, so you will adjust your antenna on the roof to the tower and have the best performance. Cel-Fi GoM is exactly the same unit. Purpose of this unit with the different software for the moving objects. You can place it on a boat, on marine, in your car, or on tracks. We have multiple clients from like police department, fire department, place this equipment on their cars to have a good coverage. Some of our clients would love to have signal on their boats and travel somewhere in Miami or California. That's exactly the perfect solution. You place donor antenna, GoM, and serving antenna and have the coverage on your vehicle or boat. Now, when we go to some big areas, some offices, buildings, warehouses, you probably would like to have Cel-Fi QUATRA solution. There's Cel-Fi QUATRA 1000 for one carrier, Cel-Fi QUATRA 2000 for 2 carriers. It's exactly the same unit. And we will talk later about the Cel-Fi QUATRA 4000. Cel-Fi QUATRA 1000, again, really friendly if you're just going into the DAS systems for the first time. You need to install the donor antenna on the roof. It's gonna be MIMO antenna for QUATRA 1000 for one carrier. You point it to the tower. Again, you can see it on the Wave app, the way you adjust the antenna to have the best performance. Or size antenna for QUATRA 2000 if you have 2 different carriers located on 2 towers on opposite sides. When you place the antenna, you pull coax cables to the network unit. Each network unit supports 4 CUs, the coverage units, and each coverage unit might cover up to 12,000 square feet. Again, it depends on the project. If it's open area like warehouse, you can cover more. If it's some dense environment like hospital, you will cover less. However, you're still gonna cover a big area with this equipment, and you need to pull only a Cat5 from your network unit to the coverage unit, to the serving antenna. You can pull the Cat5 cable up to 100 meters, it's 325 feet, and then you adjust the range extender, and now you actually can pull your coverage unit away from your network unit up to 650 feet, 100 meters. Let's see the way you actually can assemble the QUATRA system. One of the options is to have donor antenna on the roof. You will have the connection to the carrier towers and have NU in your building somewhere in the server room. That's connection between the antenna, and you're gonna be with the coax cable. and from the network unit up to 4 CUs with the Cat5 with the range extender for each CU. Now, one of the biggest advantage of the Cel-Fi equipment is that it's already pre-approved by the carriers. So you don't have to contact AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, or T-Mobile to place this equipment. It's already pre-approved. You just go on site, take site survey, install this equipment, and that's it. You don't spend anything, any minute with the carrier. It's already pre-approved and FCC ready. Another thing that you can benefit with the QUATRA 1000 only, not the QUATRA 2000, is that you can place it with the small cell. So with the small cell from AT&T or Verizon, you connect via small cell interface to the network unit and have a solid signal in the building with the small cell from the carrier. Each small cell can be connected to the 2 network units via small cell interface. So one small cell with 2 network units in the building. This type of the setup used usually in some office buildings where you have a fixed floor offices and you're not able to put donor antenna on the roof. In that case, you use like small cell via internet connected to the network unit and you distribute the signal. This is a solution somewhere in downtown areas, which can be really useful for the customer. QUATRA 4000, as you can understand, is a solution for the 4 carriers. You will have 4 antennas on the roof connected to the network unit and up to 6 CUs covering the building. The advantage of this solution, obviously, you can use 4 carriers through one system. However, if the QUATRA 1000 covers up to 500,000 square feet, QUATRA 4000 can cover up to 1 million square feet. Each coverage unit covers around 20,000 square feet. In general, somewhere in office area or hospital areas, you can cover up to 75,000 square feet. From each network unit, you will have 2 Cat6 cables going to the CU. So again, that's not the coax cable. The 1/2-inch coax cable, which is hard to pull, is going to be Cat5, easy to install. CUs are all mountable. It's pretty heavy, however, it's easy to install to some solid surface. Here you can see the way you actually connect the network units to the CUs, and each CU actually has an female port you can connect to the external antenna, which comes with the CU in the box, or you actually can pull coax cable to some ceiling omni antenna or multiple up to 4 horizontal ceiling omni antennas with a splitter. This setup actually includes the network unit ability to connect to another network unit via fiber. So from one NU, you actually can connect another NU via fiber somewhere else in your building and have less donor antennas on the roof. If you have a solid signal, -60 or so dBm or -70 dBm, you actually can split your signal from each LPD antennas up to 4 NUs. And from each NU, you actually can connect 1 more NU. In total, with 4 donor antennas, you actually can have 8 NUs. Each NU supports up to 6 CUs, so in total, you will have 48 CUs in the building. And each CU also provides 4 serving antennas. In this case, yes, you can easily cover up to 1 million square feet with 4 donor antennas. And again, this unit is pre-approved by the carriers, all 4 of them. So you do the site survey, we do the design based on your blueprints, and then you can install the equipment on site. It's that easy. Now, for the public safety desk, you would like to meet with the 5-plex flex solution, flex BDAs. They call it flex because it's really flexible. It's license adjustable. You can actually upgrade it. Flex solution covers 700 megahertz, 800 megahertz, and first net response frequencies. You can adjust or upgrade your units from the power of 27 dBm to 33 dBm output power, and from one frequency to dual frequency. For example, if your customer purchased the 700 megahertz frequencies and then the county decided to upgrade the requirements to the both bands, you just upgrade the license and you don't need to install some extra equipment. Here you also can see the configuration. Again, it's really flexible. You can decide between AC, DC power supply, power option between 33 dBm or 27, and also all the bands included. So if it's on the 800 megahertz, it's on the 700 megahertz, all together with FirstNet frequencies. Now, with the UHF VHF, also need the Flex DH14 Class A. It's also support dual option with UHF and VHF together. The power option 24 and 30 dB. You can also upgrade it. This frequency is really specific to different counties, so you want to make sure which county rules you are following, what is requirements exactly for this county. It's not different just state by state, but also counties inside the states usually also different. So you want to make sure which BDA you need. And here you can see how many options you got with passive devices for the BDAs. So on public safety part, you also need like splitters, split the passive components of your system, couplers, tappers, and combiners. Fiplex has a lot different passive that you might want to look really good price, different options specifically designed for public safety equipment. Also, Fiplex actually has the fiber option solution. So if you have more than 500,000 square feet building up to million, 2 millions, you'd like to see the fiber option where you'll have up to 4 or 6 remote units connected to the master unit and cover different buildings. For example, we had one university campus where we covered 4 buildings using only one master unit. That was really nice to use the fiber across all these buildings and covered the whole area with 700 and 800 megahertz. Westell is another partner of us, which provides solutions for the public safety and for cellular. Different BDAs for 700, 800 megahertz as well. For the cellular solution, you actually need to contact the carriers, so the carrier grade BDAs. That's, in my experience, can lead up to a year to work with the carriers to get an approval, to get the proper bands. They will test your equipment. However, with the Westell, you can purchase like really nice BDAs with a lot of passives available. The next solution that we have is big iron desk solution made by Solid. Solid provides fiber solution to the big buildings. It's cost efficient, probably closer to $500,000, and the bigger building you get, it's more efficient. You'll have your BIU signal interface, which basically connects to the carrier's station, or you even can have like donor antenna on the roof, but still you need to get an approval with the carriers if you have multiple carriers. And then with the fiber, you will have remote units around your building. You can choose what exactly the remote unit you need for 1 watt, 2 watts, 5 watt, 20 watts. That's a lot of power, so you like to design your project properly. You don't want to overkill it or have small remote unit for a big area. Again, that's something big. You probably want to use it for airport solution, stadiums, where you have a big area to cover. And yes, the negative side of the solid, you actually have to work with the carriers to cover it with their signal. Bird is another example of big R&S that we work with. One of the nice solution they have is the outdoor. So that's something we use in the stadiums, some big open areas. We had one festival where we actually implemented the bird as outdoor solution for cellular coverage. You can find their heavy units and remote units. Power remote unit works up to 40 watts, which is a lot to cover like big areas, big open areas, closed areas, probably some malls. That's some serious equipment for big projects, and that will take time to design and coordinate with the carriers. Now, our recent partner is Ericsson with their radio dot solution. It's basically the small cell system which you connect with the carriers through the internet, and then you have your fiber connection to your indoor radio unit, which supports up to 8 radio dots, which act like access points, distributing the signal. You can have only one dot or dual enclosure or triple enclosure for 3 different carriers. One of the advantages of the Ericsson that Ericsson actually works with the carriers directly. They have their partner agreement, so you're not gonna spend a year to accomplish your project. It's gonna be around 3 to 4 months. You will provide your design, the lead. Ericsson will contact their partners in AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and work with them directly. You have to know that different states have different rules. So for some states, not able to provide coverage for all 3 carriers, and that's still case by case. So contact us to discuss the possibilities of the Ericsson radio dot system. Now, for our professional services, we actually support our customers with 3 IBWave certified engineers, each engineer certified level 3 IBWave, and we can provide you design and some professional services in order to accomplish your DAS project. In our design levels, we basically separate to 3 level designs. Level 1 design, we will gather some information from you about your project. It's nice if you will provide some blueprints for us, and we will give you a rough order of magnitude with around 10 to 15% accuracy of this BOM. So you actually can provide some numbers to your clients and how much it's going to cost, what type of equipment it will be, how many units do you need to install. So you actually can provide quote for installation quote and give clients some idea how much it's going to be. Again, it's about 10 to 15% margin. You will just get the rough order of magnitude, not the actual design, but that's something you will have in the beginning of your project to agree with the customer on the price. Level 2 design is the design where we actually use IBWave. It supports QUATRA 1000, 2000 option for us. It shows the counters where you actually have the signal from each antenna. It's also preliminary designs, so around 5 to 10% accuracy, depends how big is your area. Let's give the good idea how the signal gonna cover this area. We will design like the areas, how it penetrates and distributes the signal, and give you this information. So over here you can see the counters of antenna. You probably see some empty spots. That's not the actual distribution of the antenna in the real world, especially with the walls there. So make sure you actually explain your customer that it's preliminary, but it's a little bit error present there. Over here on the level 3 design, you actually can see the same building with the same units and see how it distributes. So level 3 design is something we provide for all our partners. You will contact our sales team to know the price, the way you have to go. After providing us proper information about the project, we can generate you the heat map, provide the information on cable lengths, how much cable do you need. We'll add 25% margin just in case that you will have some extra spools of cables, and the list of equipment. You will see the heat map, you will see the design diagram, how you connect all this equipment and where exactly it should be located in the building to cover. For example, here it's -5 dBm of the signal covering 95% of the building. That's really accurate design, as accurate as the information that it provides. Because sometimes we actually see like the blueprints, which is outdated, and in the real world there's like multiple new rooms, some obstacles that we actually need to know to include it in our design. In this reason, we provide the site server where we actually go on site using IBWave mobile software and actually see how digital radio station, which is basically connecting all the frequencies, all the bands, shows you on the map how good is your signal. Here you can see that in the south part of the building, there's some signal that penetrates inside, while in the core of the building, customer has lack of the signal. And we can do the pre-install site server where we give you the information, how good is the signal right now in your building. We look at the blueprints, compare them to the actual environment. We look at the donor signal on the roof or the location where we can actually install the equipment. And then we can provide you the post-install site server where you can see the results of the installation and the equipment performance. Another our service is provisioning service for QUATRA 1000, 2000, 4000. You actually, when you actually install the QUATRA 1000 and 4000, you spend some time adjusting the equipment, configuring it on site. In many cases, it's not really comfortable thing due to the time limits when you can be on site or problem with the internet. So you would like to have the equipment that's already pre-configured, that was being provisioned for you. That's one of our service. We contact our sales team and you understand more about it. It's really nice to have equipment that's already pre-configured for you, provisioned, and you can just install it and hit start. So that's our webinar. Is there any question? You can type your question in the chat. Again, you can contact me or you can contact our sales team for any questions for the certification of different equipment and talk about your project. We will assist you.
Andre, there is a question. Do you see it there?
No.
The attendee is asking where Fiplex is manufactured.
It's manufactured here in US, in Florida, so it's US-based company, and it's actually proper equipment for the government project. They actually work in the Washington, D.C., so yes, that's US-made product. In Florida, you can attend their webinars and work with the federals. They completed the project for the subway in Washington, D.C., so yes, it works for federal projects.
Anyone else have any questions? Okay, Andre, I think that's it for the questions. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.